You got Islanders Jersey, 63-64 next up. Jersey minus 155. At home, total 6.5 shaded to the under. If you're the New York Islanders, you've got to be damn frustrated. I mean, obviously the Minnesota game was a shit show. It was a debacle defensively for them Monday afternoon in that game. I said it on Twitter. When you give up, when you're bad body and stick positioning in your own zone, when you're turning the puck over left and right, when you're giving up breakaways and odd man rushes all the time, that's basically everything bad fundamentally that you can do as a team defensively. And the Islanders did it against Minnesota on Monday. I thought defensively they played very well against Toronto Thursday night, and yet every little chance Toronto gets ends up in their net. And one of the goals off an Islander player and in. I mean, just bad puck luck. They actually kept Toronto, to the outside, to the periphery a lot in that hockey game. They played better defensively, and what do they get for it? Just another loss. They still find a way to lose. Leafs sneak out of there, and I mean sneak out of there against the Islanders. Not one of their better games, but they win in a shootout 4-3. And despite a better defensive effort, the game still goes over the total. It was 6.5, and it ended up 4-3. I mean, best Islander effort defensively in quite some time, and it's still a 4-3 game goes over. That's been the season for the Islanders. Still can't find ways to win those kind of games. Still going over the total, even at these 6.5s. And I've been scared off of these Islander overs lately because it's 6.5 and it's minus 120 half the time. And yet they're still finding ways to get over the total. The Minnesota game, the Toronto game. So what am I to argue with that now? So again, 6.5 again here with this Islander team. It's no surprise, but again, I've sort of backed off betting the Islanders overs like I did earlier in the season. Because earlier in the season, when I was betting them game in and game out, hand over fist, it was 5.5. It was 6. It was never ever 6.5. And now you're seeing just about every Islander game now. It's 6.5. Pretty much in terms of their total. New Jersey's capable offensively. We know that, especially with a healthy Taylor Hall in there. Makes all the difference in the world for the New Jersey Devils. No question about that. They're a better offensive team with him in there. Steph Noesen has really played well lately for the Devils offensively as well. They're going to be introducing one of their new shiny toys in this hockey game tonight against the Islanders, talking about Michael Grabner, a guy they acquired from the New York Rangers. Michael Grabner's not going to, some people are going to go, yawn a little bit when they get that guy, but not this year. This year, he's had a great season, Michael Grabner. He's been good. He's going to give them a little more depth offensively, and it's a cheap contract. It's not going to crush you from a salary perspective. So nothing wrong with this move by the New Jersey Devils. Every little bit helps. He'll be likely making his Devil debut tonight against this Islander team. Nico Hischier, the number 1 overall pick as well. He's really turned it up lately for the Devils. There's a lot to like with where this team's going right now. Offensively, it's been solid from them. And we'll see if it can continue tonight against this Islanders team. Now, Islanders showed me a better defensive effort the other night, and they still lose 4-3. Makes me wonder if they can fire back here with a good effort. They look totally, shell-shocked, very dejected. Dejected's the word. Dejected after that loss against Toronto because they knew they played a good game. They still didn't get 2 points. So I don't want the Islanders here, that's for sure. But again, we're talking about New Jersey now in a price range that they're not very familiar with, minus 160 in this kind of divisional matchup. Not the value I want with New Jersey. From a totals perspective, it's still over or pass for me with Islander games until further notice, until I see signs that they can get you in a 2-1, 3-1 game, and I still have not seen that routinely as of late. So I lean over, but I think there's better totals spots than this one. Dana Lane has Devils Islanders on his card tonight on his ticket. Dana, what do you see here in this big-time rivalry matchup?
Well, betting totals in the way that I do, I have some other ticks in the game as well when I bet on games, and the lengthy ceremony game. And I know that it sounds ridiculous, but I've noticed you watch this game long enough, and you start to kind of notice things. And of course, today the Devils they're going to retire the jersey of Patrik Elias before the game, and I always feel like these sort of things kind of throw things off a bit. I think that kind of takes the edge off of the home team because they're more into the, giving tribute mode than they are focusing on their opponent. And that doesn't always happen, but it does create a kind of a little bit of a soft spot. We've seen it time and time again this year in the NHL when there has been, big time, even, watching Vegas, and it's probably the worst example, but, just watching Vegas early on and all the teams that were giving tribute to Vegas. And, it was, fantastic and moving and warranted, but, it just seemed to take the edge off of the home team, allowing Vegas to really jump on these guys. Now, we later find out that Vegas is a great team, but there's been numerous examples with ceremonies. And I don't understand, honestly, why they don't do these things between periods. I don't know why they have to do it before the game. It seems like it just kind of throws things off. And then you add in another tick and wagering for me with the addition of Michael Grabner, who came over from the Rangers. I love to stay off of teams that just made some fairly high-profile moves, and certainly the acquisition of Grabner changes everything in the Devils lineup. And you have to. This is a team that's had to tiptoe through a bunch of injuries as well. So I think I don't love the bet on teams where there's a bunch of moving parts. And yes, the Islanders are horrific defensively. We know that. I don't even put all the blame on on Halak or Grice. I mean, they give way too many shots a game. I think both of those goaltenders would be a lot better on a team where they only had to face, say 30 to 33 shots a night, as opposed to what they're being asked to do now. But going back to Grabner, he's probably going to play in that second line with Zajac and Coleman. And I just think it's going to work in the long run for sure. But Grabner is a speed guy. So when you add a speed guy, it takes a game or two to get used to that sort of a player on your team, or on your line rather. To me, the Islanders, as bad as they have been offensively or defensively, pretty strong up the middle. They're getting pretty good play from Tavares and Barzal and Brock Nelson. Their numbers have been pretty good in the last 5 to 10 games. Recent form has been good. So we know the Islanders are pretty good offensively. And, I think it's fair to anticipate 3 to 4 goals from the Islanders tonight. Listen, I don't think they're better than the Devils for sure on paper, on a neutral site. But if you're going to give me $1.40 with the Islanders, once in a while, they come up with a pretty good effort. And like you said the other night, I mean, that game was an under game against Toronto, and now they're playing, a lesser. I mean, if you compare New Jersey with Toronto, I mean, certainly Toronto is better offensively. So I don't have a problem with the Islanders plus $1.40 tonight. I think they you just get through playing Toronto, and then I think you kind of go backwards a little bit. And I think if you're the Islanders, you got to feel pretty good about your defensive effort against the Leafs. And, if you put in that kind of effort, certainly I think you're pretty confident that you might be able to shut down New Jersey, especially when you got 3 lines with 3 lines that can carry the puck pretty well. So $1.40 for me. I'm going to take a shot with the Islanders. I saw this team come into T-Mobile a couple weeks ago and absolutely play lights out. When these teams are engaged, they play a lot different. It doesn't reflect what they've done during their whole regular season. So I have no problem taking the plus price tonight. Not my favorite for sure, but I think there's some value in it as well. And there's too many moving parts for the Devils for me.
Yeah, and it's all fade the ceremony night, team night. There you go. That's never a lot of people gravitate to that and look to do that. And for the Islanders, it's all about are you mentally strong? Because if you're a mentally strong team, if you're mentally worth a shit, to be honest with you, you look at that Toronto game and you say, we played a damn good game. We're feeling good. We didn't win, but we played good. We know we played the right way. Let's do it again, and let's get the 2 points tonight. If you're weak and you got nothing going for yourself mentally and you're fragile, you're going to be dejected, and maybe you're going to mail it in and just make mistakes, head in the clouds type of effort tonight from the New York Islanders. So I'm very fascinated to see which one is it. Which one is it for the New York Islanders tonight? You can be strong and say, hey, we lost the game, but we played well enough. One of our better defensive games in a long time. We play that way again, we'll win, we're fine. Let's just get back at it, get back on the saddle, play that way again, and we'll have a better result, different result. Or are you going to let that loss gnaw away at you and you come out tonight and just lay an egg? Very interesting to see which one it is from this New York Islanders team. But Dana, with the price, I agree. From a price perspective, there's none to be had with New Jersey here. I said that earlier. This is not the price range I like New Jersey in, more than minus 150. They're still not a team with dominant enough goaltending, too. Let's keep that in mind. I mean, Keith Kincaid is okay at times, but is he really going to be a guy to get you over the hump? Well, he's been very up and down, and again, New Jersey, again, the other night losing to Minnesota. So, again, they can be beaten. See if the Islanders have another good effort in them tonight.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.